Hello, I am very excited today to go through your simplifying expressions notes. Why? Because this is like the beginning of algebra and it just makes me tingle all over because I love it so much. Now, let's look at this expression right here. X plus 2x plus 4 minus 1. The first thing we're going to learn how to do is simplify this expression. There's no equal sign, so it's an expression, with a model. So do you see that x right here? This is an x. So we're going to move that right there. I'm just putting it underneath it so you can see it. This says 2x. That means we need 2 more for that term, okay? Then we need plus 4. Well, that's an x. That's a negative x. Here's a positive 1. So let's go ahead and bring these here. 1. 2. 3. And 4. Then it says minus 1. So let's go ahead here and move this minus 1 over to there. Now, the way we're going to solve this, or simplify it, excuse me, with a model is to mark out anything that's opposite, okay? Well, there's an x, an x, and an x. There are no negative x's, so those have to all stay. But when you look here, we have a 1 and a negative 1, which means that they, when you put them together, 1 minus 1 is 0. So we can cross them out. So that means our answer is 1 to 3x and 1 to positive 3. So that would be plus 3. And that's how we simplify using a model. But now we're going to show you how we do it algebraically, okay? We have this sample here. It says x plus 2x plus 4 minus 1. When I see something like this, there's no equal sign, there are no parentheses, so I know I am just simplifying, or as we like to call it, combining like terms, which sometimes I will say CLT, so that might be something you want to be used to hearing. The first thing I'm going to do when I see something like this is I'm going to draw a T-chart. Now, it sounds simple enough. That's a T, okay? And on the first, starting from the left, I'm going to look and see what variable I have up here. My variable is x, so I'm going to label that column x. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put this sign there. Over the years, it's had many different signs. It's a pound sign. It is shortcut for writing pounds or pounds. It was a pound sign on telephones. Now people call it a hashtag. So we call it a number sign. That's how we shortcut number. Okay, so we're going to put the numbers that are all by themselves on the right. So let's take that first x. I'm going to put a 1 in front of it just because I know there's an invisible 1 there and I want to remember that it's positive. Then we have positive 2x. So I'm going to put a positive 2x here. Then I'm going to go to the next thing, which is plus 4. Well, that's a number all by itself, so it's going to go there. And that's a minus 1, so it's going to go here. And then I'm going to draw a line across the bottom. Then I'm going to very carefully add. I suggest always double checking in Desmos. 1x plus 2x's is 3x. And positive 4 minus 1 is positive 3. So that tells us that when we simplify this expression, we get 3x plus 3, which is exactly what we got when we did it with a model. So let's see if we can do one more example. All right, here we go again. So let me go back to my stylus so I can drag and drop. We're going to simplify, no equal sign, with a model. This says negative 2x. Well, that's an x, but this is a negative x, and we're going to need negative 2. So negative 1x, negative 2x. The next piece says plus 3x. So here are my x's. 1, 2, and 3. So that's positive 3x. Then over here we have a negative 5. So that's a negative 1, so we're going to need to go here. So I'm going to move negative 5 over. I might put them down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. So now let's grab our stylus and see if there's anything that we can mark out. Well, we have 5 negative ones down there, but we don't have any positive ones to cancel out. Now, interestingly, we have 2 negative x's here, and we have 3 positives. So we could mark out these 2 because they make these 2 disappear. They make a 0 pair, okay? Because a negative x and an x makes 0. So all we have left is 1x and negative 5. So simplified, it is x minus 5. If you would like to, you could also call it 1x minus 5, and I'll show you when we do it algebraically how that might happen, okay? Because those are exactly the same thing. So again, when we when we simplify algebraically, I'm going to draw my t-chart. I'm going to label my first column with whatever variable we're using and my second column with the number sign. I see here that we have negative 2x. So I'm going to write that down, negative 2x. It is important to bring the signs with it because if you miss them, it will really cause problems later. And a positive 3x. So I'm writing positive 3x. And then we have that negative 5. So I'm going to put that negative 5 over here. This is something Amber and I call a T-chart. And we really think that it's very, very helpful in helping people order what they're doing and keeping track of it. So now let's put our terms together. We're going to combine like terms, or like I said before, CLT. So negative 2 plus 3x leaves us with 1x, okay? Always use Desmos just to make sure. We really want you to do that. Then we have a negative 5, so it comes down all by itself. So 1x minus 5 is certainly correct, but the way we would probably write it would be x minus 5. And as you can see, that matches exactly what we came up with when we used the model. All right? Go over this a couple of times, and if you've got it, you will have this forever, and it will be awesome.